morning, friends. It's Terrific Tuesday. I hope everybody had a fabulous weekend. I most certainly did. The weather was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I worked on the birdhouses a little bit this weekend and I did some crocheting, of course, but I just had a nice, relaxing weekend. The weather was absolutely gorgeous. It's 48 here this morning and it's supposed to be nice all the way through next weekend. So very, very exciting. Debbie, good morning. Thank you so much for the heart me. Kay, good morning. And Kimberly, good morning. Happy Tuesday, Rosetta. Hope everybody's having a fabulous week. So we're back today and we're going to be working on the Choose Your Own Adventure tote again. So we started work. Rachel's in the house. Rachel, how are you? It's been such a while. Pam, thank you so much for the heart me. This is none other than our fabulous Lea Pin Llamas, Miss Leah's tote bag. So we started this last Thursday with some purple yarn and we did the base of the bag. Today we're going to get a little meshy up in here. That's right, little meshy. We're going to work on this mesh part of the tote. But this is a brand new pattern that came out last week by our friend Leah. And we're just kind of talking through some of these stitches as we make a new version of this. The reason it's called the Choose Your Own Adventure tote is you get to choose what stitches you put in the middle here. So the bottom is the same, the top is the same. She has designed it so far with 3 different options for us. So this example right here is the mesh. That's what we're going to do today. She also has a granny stitch for the middle, and she also has a V stitch. I really want to make the V stitch. So anyhow, that's basically what we have on the agenda this morning. So as you'll recall, here is our fabulous little purple base that we made on Thursday. So it's designed so it has some little holes in the bottom, so all your little dust and dirt will fall through. Isn't that pretty purple pretty though? It's almost like a violet. If I think of violets, this is what I think of. Vicky, thank you so much for the hand heart, my friend, and good morning. Welcome, welcome. So as we finished the base here, we ended with 117 stitches. Now, I will confess, I did not count these stitches. So we're going to kind of wing it as I typically like to do. I know, rebelling it up already this morning. We're just going to make it work because I didn't get around to counting these. JT, good morning. Allie, good morning. Karen, how are you? Marla, thank you so much for the rose. So for today, we're using 100% cotton. This morning I'm using the Village Craft cotton and it's going to be variegated. Okay. So the meshy part of our tote is going to be variegated. And then when we get back to the top, the handles, we're going to go back to that purple color. All right. Paloma, buenos dias. Good morning, sister. How are you? So to begin the mesh, I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook and I'm going to pick any space here where we ended on the base. It doesn't really matter. We're going to pick any stitch. We're going to work under the front and back loop. I tend to like to work kind of over here towards the corner of our base. This is where the little rectangle was. So I'm just going to kind of go up somewhere in here and I'm going to start with a single crochet. Okay, now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for the mesh part, all we're going to be doing is some single crochets and then we're going to do these chains. So if we look at our example here, you can kind of see where these chains are, these little loops, and you can see where we are skipping stitches. Oop, that's an error right there. Nobody saw that. So we're going to do a single crochet and we're going to basically loop it down. So this is where we came out of. We're going to skip a stitch, chain 5, and then single crochet back down. So Rachel, thank you so much for the penguin snow pal. What a cute little guy. Marla has been in the fan club for 300 days. Look at that, Marla. How cool. Very, very cool. Thank you for your continued support. Okay, so we're going to skip one into the next. We're going to come down under both the front and back loop and we're going to single crochet. We're going to get these little loops started. This is going to be for the mesh. Now we're going to go into the next stitch and we're going to single crochet again. So we're going to have 2 single crochets back to back. Annie, good morning. Welcome in. Ruth, good morning. Thank you so much for sharing the live. Veronica, thank you for sharing the live. Paloma, thank you for the heart me and the rose, my friend. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a stitch into the next. You got it. Single crochet. We're going to do a lot of mesh this morning. Then we're going to go right into the next stitch and again, single crochet. So all we're trying to do right now is make these little loops for our mesh. When we come back around for the next row, we're going to work into these chains that we made. Reset, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the heart me. Diana says, good morning. I love your bags. Oh, thank you so much. This pattern that we're doing is by our fabulous friend, Lea Pin Llamas. Miss Leah created this bag. Kim, good morning. Welcome in. Um, I can't read that name. I hate when they do the green, but good morning. I see you over there saying good morning on YT. I just can't read your name. I wish I could make the comments bigger on YT, but I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip one into the next single crochet. Anyhow, Leah came up with this pattern and I'm just kind of talking through. We did the base on Thursday, so we worked on all of this. You can rewatch the live for this over on YT. Um, Just a Gen X girl, thank you so much for the paper crane. I love those. They're such cute little guys. So we're going to do single crochet into the next single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Risa said, look who dragged the cat in. Yep, yep. Our friend Rachel, we haven't seen in a while because well, as you guys all know, I don't have to tell you anything you don't know. I come on a lot when people are working, and Miss Rachel has work, so we've missed seeing her, but it's really nice to have her back today. So there's our little loops so far. See how they're shaping up? Cute little guys, huh? Let me zoom in just a little bit here on the TikToker. Mama Bird, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the heart me. Oh yeah, now we can actually see what I'm doing. How about that? Okay, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, I am loving this variegated. Okay, we're going to skip one and into the next single crochet. Now we're going to pop to the next stitch and another single crochet. Back to our chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, skip one into the next single crochet. Leah will share where you can get this yarn that I'm using. This came from Hirschner's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm using 2 different colorways. So I kind of picked out the darker color for the base. It's actually a different brand. And then the variegated I'm using is from Hirschner's. Skip one into the next. Get back on there. Get back on there. Single crochet. Queen 530, good morning. Welcome in. Okay, now into the next single crochet. Gigi, we're making a tote bag this morning. This is called the Choose Your Own Adventure tote bag. And this pattern came out last week. It's a brand new pattern. It is by our friend Lea Pin Llamas. This pattern has been downloaded a ton of times. Leah can share with you those stats, but everybody's pretty excited about this tote bag, and a lot of us are making it. It's a FREE pattern. Right now, we're working on the mesh. So when we look at the tote bag, here's an example. If you're just joining, this is what we're making. This is the Choose Your Own Adventure with the mesh stitch. Okay, so basically, the reason it's called the Choose Your Own Adventure is you have the base of the bag that stays the same with the stitches. The top of the bag right here and the handles stay the same for the bag. What you're changing is the middle of the bag. So this part right here, I've done it with the mesh. She has 2 other options already. So a total of 3. You could do the mesh, you can do a V stitch, and you can also do a granny stitch. And the very cool thing is she is actually working on new chapters for the adventure tote. So eventually we'll be able to choose more adventures. I know she's looking at things to do around the holidays for like Valentine's Day tote and Halloween tote and everyday tote and spring. Lots of things that she is working on in the background. So It'll be nice because once you have the base memorized, which I'll tell you, this is my third one to make, and I already had it memorized. And then we'll just be able to incorporate the other center stitches in there. And it'll kind of be like a multi-purpose bag where it's very easy to like change it up depending on what you want to make. So we are working on the mesh tote. Okay, so the center is mesh. So what we're doing is a single crochet, then we are chaining 5. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains. Then we are skipping a stitch, and into the next, we are doing a single crochet. Okay, and I'm going both under the front and back loop. Then I'm immediately going to the next stitch and putting again another single crochet. So basically, we're just making these little loops all the way around. Okay. After you get your 2 single crochets, then you're going to go back and you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And yes, again, skip a stitch into the next single crochet and into the next single crochet. Then once again, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip a stitch into the next single crochet and into the very next stitch, single crochet. Autism Mom, thank you so much for sharing the live this morning. Good morning. Vega Girl, Miss Leah will share where you can get this pattern. This pattern I'm doing today, guys, is called the Choose Your Own Adventure Tote. Angel, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Lori and Amika as well. Good morning. Welcome in, friends. Guys, if you are new to the channel, my name is April. I'm a hobby crocheter. I do work full time, and I have been crocheting since I was 9. Leo will tell you it's like since the dinosaurs roamed the earth. I did turn 50 this year, so I've been crocheting for 41 years. With that being said, it far from makes me an expert. I'm constantly learning new things, and I come on the live just to do a little stitch talk and maybe inspire you with some new projects, some new yarns that maybe you haven't tried, all that stuff. Sparky says, "Girl, stop." I know. I'm not the one that says dinosaur. It's her. It's her, this little youngster. Nightmare Crochet, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Snow Knight is right with me. She turned 50 this last December. Yeah, I turned 50 in June. So this June, it'll be 51. 51 years young. How about that? Erin, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Skip one, into the next, single crochet, into the next stitch under both the front and back loop again, single crochet. And here we go, back with our chaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I learned to crochet from my mom. Good morning, Mom, by the way. Mama Wheeler, who you see right there in the chat, that is my mom. And that's who I learned to crochet from, her and my grandma, all those years ago. I learned originally how to make a granny square. That was the first thing that I learned. And we've just kind of branched out from there, as we have, been watching a lot of YTs and learning new stitches from videos and whatnot. So, uh, if you are a dinosaur, I'm close. I'm old as dirt, closer to 60. I don't think I'm old. I think I'm perfect. Whatever age I'm at is perfect, right? That's how I think about it. Age is all a mindset. In my mind, I'm like a fabulous little 30-year-old bebopping around. Rachel, good morning. Robin, thank you so much for the roses. Stacy, good morning. Welcome. Thank you so much for the roses. Vicky, have a great day. Thanks for stopping in. Um, she was pattern writing on stone tablets. Oh, stop it, JT. Oh, you're too funny. You're too funny, friends. What would I do without you to keep me laughing? Autism Mom 51 on 316. I say 28 with 23 years experience. There you go. There you go. I like that. All you keep living. I'll be 72 in October and a fabulous 72 at that, right, Queen? Yes, Queen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh, I love it. I love all your guys' good spirits. Skip one into the next single crochet, into the next single crochet. So yes, we're doing 2 single crochets back to back as we work on our little chain. Yeah, forever young. That's right. That's right. Have a seat. Good morning. Welcome in. Kay, thank you so much for the paper crane. I appreciate that. Debbie said I'll be 70 this year. Nice. We have quite a range of people that watch as far as ages. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip one into the next single crochet and into the next single crochet. So 2 single crochets back to back. I like how she did that. The other mesh bag that I do, the one by Stephanie Zed, she doesn't put 2 single crochets back to back. And I really like how Leah did this because I feel like it makes it much more strong. I don't know, that could all be in my mind, but I think she did that on purpose to give it a little more strength around the base. Reset said, I'm 43. I'll be 65 next year. Stop. Veronica said, I will be 75 and my mom is 99. Wow, that is amazing. Veronica, did you learn from your mom? Does she still, I would imagine she probably has a hard time crocheting as we get older. It really affects our hands. So I would be surprised if your 99-year-old young mom is still crocheting, but did you learn from her? I'm always curious how people learned the crochet. If they, you know, when I first learned to crochet, we didn't have well, number one, when I was growing up, we didn't have TV. My mom was a teacher, and my parents made a decision that we weren't going to have TV. And so it wasn't about money, it was about reading books and crocheting and playing games as a family and listening to the radio and music and all of those things. And so we had a lot of time for crafting. My mom used to do stained glass when I was a kid. All those type of things. We had a lot of family time without having a TV. And we also, when I was growing up, of course, the internet didn't exist. So there was no YT or there was no TikTok or anything like that to watch tutorials. So everything that I learned was kind of passed down. So I learned whatever my grandma and mom taught me, right? But then as I've gotten older, of course, we've had all these fabulous things, and there's all these amazing crocheters and fiber artists and just people in the arts in general, right? One, two, three, four, five, that are doing all these tutorials and stuff. And so it's really cool now as I'm older to be able to watch the videos and learn new stitches that when I was a kid, I had no clue about. I think we learned to the extent of what our family member, or if you learn from someone at church or whoever you learned from, right? I was watching one time and one lady said she learned from a gal on the bus. She took the bus and there was a gal that crocheted, and that's who taught her how to crochet. So a vast variety of people learn a lot of different ways. I think nowadays a lot of us learn by watching tutorials, which is really cool because in the past we wouldn't been able to do that. Shemaya actually asked a great question. Have you used mercerized cotton from the Hoblob? And actually, Shemaya, I got an order in yesterday. I finished my mercerized tote bag that I was making the other day, and I was like, oh, I want to try the Hoblob mercerized. And so, anyhow, I got some in yesterday. I got a fabulous purple mercerized that I'm kind of thinking about doing a black, gray, and purple of the mercerized tote that I like to do, and with the base and stuff. Queen said she learned from her great aunt. Janet, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Cool Nanny, good morning. Welcome in. Nice to see you here this morning. After you do your chain of 5, we're going to skip one. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Skip one into the next single crochet. Tammy, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Friends, I mentioned earlier, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome. My name is April, and I am a hobby crocheter. Oh, not Hoblob, Lind Hob. I don't know what that one is. I'd have to check that out. This yarn I'm using this morning, Pam, it's from Hirschner's. Leah will share where you can get the yarns. I have 2 different yarns I'm working with, 2 different colorways. This one is the Sprout in this plum color, And then this one is from Hirschner's that I get. It's a craft cotton, the variegated. So the meshy part of the bag is going to be with the variegated. We're going to keep working up and do that. Sylvia, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Skylar said, when I was little, my aunt tried to teach me and it didn't work. I taught myself 5 years ago on YT. Very cool. That's the other part I was going to mention, friends. If you are new, we are live this morning, both on TikTok and over on YT. So as we make these little morning tutorials or whatever, you can always go back and rewatch those on YT. My handle is Wheeler 8 Acres. Wheeler 8 Acres. As you're looking at the channel, Liz, I do see your comment there. Good morning. Welcome in. I may have missed your comment if you want to ask again. I try to keep up with the comments, guys, but sometimes they go really fast in the mornings for me. I'm like, girl, get another cup of coffee. You can't even keep up with all these. um, so anyhow, if you watch over on YT, there are three different categories. There's one that says um, shorts. There's one that says videos, and you can rewatch on the tab that says live. We do have people that are watching this morning on YT live. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 chains, skip one, into the next, single crochet, into the next, single crochet, and then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think I learned a tat from a book, if I remember correctly. I think I picked up a book. I found one at a thrift store or something. I like to go to antique stores and stuff. And a lot of times you can find vintage lace work and tatting. And I was always fascinated by it. And so I do shuttle tatting. Now, with that being said, I haven't shuttle tatted in years. But it was one of those things for a short period of my life. I was like, I'm going to learn how to do this. And I have such an amazing respect for the ladies back in the olden days when they were shuttle tatting their lace. Now there is needle tatting as well. I've actually found a TikToker. I don't remember her handle, but she actually does shuttle or needle tatting, and her work is absolutely incredible. And there's quite a number of them on YT as well that do tatting. It's a really fun little art. It's basically the art of tying knots to create lace. So if you think about, like, remember we used to make friendship bracelets when we were a kid? Does anybody make those? Hey, Kayla, good morning. Welcome in. My grandma tatted. I wish I would have learned. There are tutorials, Skylar. You can find them on YT. There are people that still are doing both shuttle and needle tatting. It's fascinating to watch. It really is an amazing art. Skip one, into the next, single crochet. We're getting down to the wire here. Y'all remember when I said I didn't count and I was reveling it up? Well, we're down to the wire. We're going to see how accurate I was. I was supposed to end with this purple and have 117 stitches. So we're going to see here as I'm getting closer to the end. I actually think I nailed it. How about that? Okay, so chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip one, into the next, single crochet. Oh, I'm one off. I have one extra stitch. These ones were supposed to be next to each other. Okay, so here's a great opportunity for those of you that want to rebel like me. Okay, clearly I have one extra stitch right here. So rather than frog this whole thing out, we're going to wing it. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to do a decrease stitch right here. That's what it's called. And I'm going to put these 2 stitches together because I was supposed to end up right next to this one, which would give us our 2 single crochets. So I'm going to take out that single crochet. Then if any of you make amigurumi, this is a technique we use for that. Okay. So I'm going to go under the front loop. Okay. So as you look at your crochet stitches, you have both the front and back loop. So you have kind of a sideways V. This stitch that is closest to me is called the front loop. This one that is away from me is called the back loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under the front loop of the first stitch. Then I'm going to hop over here to the second stitch and go under that front loop as well. So we're going to go under both of those with our hook. and we're just going to suck those together and make them into one stitch. This is called a decrease. Okay. So here we go under the front loop. Then I twist my hook to the side, and I do sometimes have to use my thumb to get that second loop to slide on there. Okay, this is called an invisible decrease. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull up my loop for my single crochet, and then yarn over and pull through both. So basically what we do, even though my count was totally wrong, now we have made it so those two stitches are side by side and put them together. Okay. So that is basically how I do that. If I end up that my stitches are wrong, I don't fret it. I just fake it. Okay. So did everybody see? This is a technique that we use a lot in amigurumi, because if you think about an amigurumi, right, you're making a circle. You're going to use, you can go up and make it like a round dome. Okay, so as you're going, you're going to be decreasing till you get to the very top. So that's why we do that. Um, Tammy, you can definitely go under both stitches. Sometimes the stitches are very tight. Okay, so a lot of times what I will try to do is you could go under both like this and then twist your hook and go over these two. What that does is it puts all four loops on your hook. But a lot of times this becomes too tight. And so it makes it a little harder to get into, which is why we just go through the front. But if you are determined, you can kind of get it to work. See how I'm struggling with that though? Sometimes you have to turn your hook back this way. It just becomes really hard with the tension between the stitches. So what we do instead is I kind of stretch those out now. But instead, we're just going to go under the front loop here and the front loop here with that decrease. It's called an amigurumi. Rachel, this is called an invisible decrease, right? An amigurumi. Amigurumi, Rachel's our resident expert on this. So under the front loop, put my hook, and then under the next one, put my hook and slide through both and do that slip stitch. Personally, I would have took out the last chain and then did the decrease this final chain, so not at the end. Um, yeah. So what Kayla is saying is rather than do it right here, we could go back here, right? Finish this chain. It doesn't really matter like where you place it, but what she's saying, I think, is go here with my invisible decrease. So that way my two single crochets are right next to each other. So it disguises it a little more. And then do our chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we could go right here with our single crochet and end with our single crochet right next. So either way, however, wherever you want to place it, the point being, guys, don't frog your work if you end up with an extra. Just kind of fudge it a little. Now, some of you are too OCD and you'll be like, oh no, I got to frog that all the way back. But as you do more and more crochet projects, you become a little more lax in what you will let slide. Nobody will know that I did a decrease there. Well, except for the 300 of you that are watching. You all know. So Pretty Cat, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. JT said I would have to frog it. Yeah, see, there's some people that have to frog it. Marla, thank you so much for the Go Popular. Luna, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that. Julie, welcome in. Thank you so much for the hand heart. I appreciate you. Papa Wheeler broke his wrist and was in a cast for 8 weeks. All good now. Yeah, Papa Wheeler, the crochet police, probably would have told me I needed to frog that. But, he's over there on the couch. He's not next to me. So he doesn't get to vote. Victoria, thank you so much for sharing the live. Elaine and Mia, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follows. I have been crocheting for 41 years. However, I'll tell you, I'm not an expert. I'm learning new things all the time, guys. Okay, so we have successfully gone all the way around with our little loop-de-loos. Isn't that cool? So we've had a lot of new friends join on. Let me share with y'all what we're doing for the project, and then we're going to start the next row here, okay? So the project that we're doing today is called the Choose Your Own Adventure tote bag. This is what it looks like. This is a fabulous bag that was made by none other than our wonderful moderator here, Miss Lea Pin Llamas. Leah has done an amazing job on this tote. So the things that stay the same on the bag is the base, which is what we did on last Thursday. the purple. If you want to see this, you can rewatch how we did this over on YT. We did it live last week, and you can rewatch the video. The handles and the top of the bag also stay the same, okay? So the reason it's called the Choose Your Own Adventure is because you are able to change the middle of the stitches. So this green bag that we did, this is the mesh option. There also right now is the V stitch, and there another one is the granny stitch. Hey Sue, good morning. Welcome in. Um she is also actively writing new adventures for us to eventually be able to choose from. She's going to be publishing those out to go with the pattern. Okay, so she'll have new ones to come. I know she was working on some Halloween stuff, sweets, little fun stitches. So lots of possibilities yet to come. But Leah will share where you can get this pattern. So for us, we're ready to continue on with the mesh. So for round 2, what we need to do, and I don't know if this is written in Leah's pattern or not, but I'm going to show you kind of how I get to the second row. So as we're doing this, we need to get to the middle of our loop-de-loos right here. Okay. So see how this next row is in that? When we ended now with our last stitch here, you can see we ended. Hang on, let me get this. I'm all scrambled up here. Let me get this back under control and get this yarn on my hook so we can see what I actually did. Oh, I'm upside down. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So we ended here in the valley. Okay. As we start our next row, we have to get up here to the tippy top of this chain, because what we're going to do is we're going to put a single crochet in the loop. Then we're going to chain 5 and go to the next loop and single crochet. And we're going to work along the tops of these chains. So the reason I do this is basically to move myself up here and have it look kind of seamless. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a slip stitch between this stitch that I made and the last one. So I put my hook under both loops. Let me zoom a little bit so we can see this better. I put my hook under both loops. I pull up a loop. Now all I'm going to do is pull this one under this one. Hey Amanda, good morning. Welcome in. Now I need to still get to the very tippy top here. So same thing. I'm going to go to the next stitch. I just kind of insert my hook into that stitch, and I'm going to do again a slip stitch right here. Now, as you're doing these slip stitches, that one was kind of tight. You want to make sure that these are loose. Okay, so we're going to go in there. Make sure you're giving yourself enough wiggle room there. Sometimes I get them a little too tight. I get a little anxious or whatever. And then I'm going to go into the next one again, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to do a single crochet here in the very top. Okay, so now I have moved myself with my slip stitches from down here at the bottom, and I've gotten myself all the way up to the top of this little loop-de-loo. So as I'm coming around, each time I'm starting a new row, I'm going to do that slip stitch and get myself moved up there. Now, I could probably find it on this bag and show y'all where that was. If I look real hard, I could probably find it. Here it is right here. So it's very hidden as you are doing it, okay? It doesn't become too bulky, but I will point it out here. Probably if I didn't point it out, you would not be able to see it. But right here, do you see how those stitches are stacked on top of each other with the slip stitch? All the way up, you can see where I have been moving myself up the row here. So again, it kind of gets lost in the bag here, and it really doesn't show. So that's how I do mine. If anybody else has a better way to do that, be sure and share. But that's kind of how I finagle it. Okay, so now we're at the top of our loop. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go into the top of this chain, and I'm going to do a single crochet. So as we work along now, we're just kind of bridging that gap all the way around. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. skip to your next loop. I always think "Skip to the Loo, My Darling," that little old kids song. Okay, chain 5. Again, skip to the next loop and single crochet. Again, chain 5. And we're going to keep repeating this, okay? Over and over and over again. Leah, remind me, how many rows of the mesh am I doing? Because that little bit of information has flown out my brain. Yes, I'm using an H8, a 5 millimeter hook this morning. Lefty, hey, how are you, my friend? I hope all is well in your world. Donna says your dinosaur baby blanket is the best I have seen. Oh, thank you so much, Donna. I finally got around to posting that. I'll tell you, I gave that blanket years ago to my niece. It's been, how long has it been? At least like a year and a half. I think a year and a half. And I just never got around to posting the video. So I finally did that yesterday or the day before. I don't know. I finally got around to doing it. All right, Liz, go swap out your yarn. Luna, thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate that. Little Red, Leah will share what the pattern is, but it is called Choose Your Own Adventure Tote, is what we are working on this morning. And we're doing the mesh. We're getting a little meshy this morning. We like to get a little meshy. And I can't remember how many rows. So Leah will be right back. She is checking how many rows of this mesh I'm supposed to be doing. Hey, Cheryl Lynn, good morning. Welcome. How are you? Hope everybody had a great weekend. It's really starting to feel like spring around here. I worked on the birdhouses this weekend. We have a lot of tree swallows out there flying around. I just love them. So I actually started a tree swallow on YT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on one of the nesting pairs. I don't have a camera inside that nesting box, but Mama Tree Swallow has been bringing in the grass and starting to build her nest. So that's pretty excited. She said 20 rows. Okay, we got a long ways to go. We're going to be doing a lot of chains here. Yeah, we're going to mesh it up, JT, right? I just like being able to say things are getting meshy around here. I'm such a dork. She wanders. Welcome in. Good morning. Could you have upcoming live where you show us how you make those blanket animals? The dinosaur, I followed a tutorial on YT. Allie, if you send me a note, I can uh, let you know where to find that. I don't come up with those animals. She's talking about the appliques that I do on the baby blankets. A lot of those I just follow somebody else's tutorial. I'm not that talented. Donna said, I'm the lady from Fort Payne, but living in Cedar Bluff now. Oh, nice, Donna. Welcome in. I have to tell you, my husband was down at uh, uh, the up store dropping off some packages. And of course, they said Wheeler 8 acres. And that was down in Fort Payne. And the lady there, the gal that was working the counter, she goes, Wheeler 8, Wheeler 8. Uh, I know Wheeler 8. Isn't she the crocheter? My husband goes, yeah, that's my wife. She's the crocheter on TikTok. So small world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get the hip waders is going to be deep with these mesh puns, right? I can't help it, JT. I can't help it. Everybody likes to get a little meshy. Speaking of getting a little meshy, does anybody watch Mormon Wives? Can we just talk about Mormon Wives for those that do? And our friend Taylor, you talk about getting meshy. Girl. I use vintage Susan Bates, Jay Higley. I really like inline hooks. So today that's what I'm using. I'm using an H8, a 5 millimeter, off and running. Yeah, that Taylor, she's messy. 16 rows for the mesh. Thank you, Leah. What would I ever do without you? We got to do 16 rows. We're on row 2, y'all. Yes. Okay, Luna. A whole new season. I just finished watching season 4. And then when I was watching season 4 of The Mormon Wives, okay, it said that Taylor was going to be the new Bachelorette, which I have been a Bachelor and Bachelorette fan for years. Okay. And I was like, Honestly, now this is gonna sound kinda mean girl. I said, "Really? Taylor? Like, Bachelor, is that the best you can do? Like, really?" And then Bachelorette was supposed to air, uh, was it Sunday it was supposed to air? Yeah, and it got canceled. The whole Bachelorette got canceled because of Taylor and Taylor's mess. So, you talk about getting meshy up in here. Girl, Miss Taylor, you're getting meshy. And on the public television. Anyhow, that's my little bit. I was very disappointed because I was there for I was going to be there for have you seen yes, Luna. Yes, sister, I have seen the video. I have seen it. I was like, sure. Yeah, barstools need to stay on the ground. Let's just put it that way. Paloma says I binged Scarpetta. Oh my god, the ending. Yes. Right? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was that Scarpetta. If you haven't watched that, that was really good. One, two, three, four, five. So anyhow, sorry, I got a little distracted because we were talking about getting meshy, and then of course I remembered Taylor and her mesh. Nani said I have been a member of the fan club for 1 month. Well, congratulations. Uh, yeah, it made the baby cry. I know, Luna. It's crazy. That's old too. It's not like the event just happened, but then all of a sudden Bachelorette decided, "Oh, well, maybe this is not a good spokesperson for our little community." You think? Oh, there's Shan. Hey, Shan, I was talking to Shan about the whole meshy situation with Taylor because her daughters watch it. See, that's why I say I'm hip and cool is because I'm watching what the 20-year-olds are watching. JT's watching the Burbs. The Burbs. Fun, fun. I, uh I watched last night one of my favorites, and I mentioned it to my friend Leah. It's leaving off of Prime here soon, but it's a very cute movie that I absolutely love. It's one of those little, rom-coms, but the movie I watched last night, and then I finished it this morning before I came on the live, is called Definitely Maybe. Definitely Maybe. It's the cutest little show. It has Ryan Reynolds, the daughter in it. It's just the cutest thing. It's one of those that I watch it every year. There's one part, well, there's kind of two parts that they get me every time. I get a little teary. And the girl in it, one of the girls in it, her name is April. So the producers knew, but they were hoping it wouldn't get the me show. Oh, yeah. I mean, how could they not know? The whole world knows how meshy Taylor is. Hey, Maggie. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, definitely maybe very cute movie. Definitely a rom com if you're in the mood for a cute little uh show. I really enjoy that one. We're doing a lot of mesh today, guys. If you are just hopping on, sorry. Let me I got totally distracted. But let me I'm almost around here to our next, this is where we started. So after I get through this next little round, so what we're doing is we're chaining five. I do a single crochet in the top. Then we chain five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're back to where we started. So this is where our single crochet was right here. I'm going to join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet in the top of that loop. So we have finished now round 2. And we're going to let me talk about this mesh bag for just a moment for those that are just joining on. But first, my nose is running. Excuse me for just a moment. I got to I got to catch my nose. That's what my grandpa used to say. I got to catch my nose. It's running. Allergies, allergies, y'all. Okay. So, when we are talking about this tote, we made the base of the bag, this dark purple that you see, this plum color is what we did last Thursday. If you missed how to make the base of the bag, you can go back and rewatch this on my YT from last week. But Leah has the fabulous pattern written out. And it is made with, you kind of have some holes in the bottom That will let the little dust and dirt particles fall through your bag. Now we're working up the sides of the bag. So we're working on the mesh. This is called the choose your own adventure tote. So if we look at this example here, this one is also done with the mesh. So we did the base last Thursday. Now we're going to work 16 rows of the mesh all the way up. And so we're just repeating at this point all of these chains, which are basically a chain of 5 and then a single crochet in each loop. So once you get to this part, it goes pretty quickly. Plug yourself in a show, a TV, whatever, listen to your audiobook and it just kind of flows. And before you know it, you'll be at row 16. Now, with the choose your own adventure tote, the bottom of the bag and the top of the bag and the handles stay the same for all of the adventures. The part that changes is what is here in the middle. So this example is one of the options. This is the mesh. She also has on the first release a V stitch and also a granny stitch. So you get to choose your own adventure. Y'all remember those books? You go this way and you go floating down the river. You go this way, you go up in a hot air balloon. It's like that. So you choose which stitches you want for the middle of your tote bag. And the thing that she is doing is she's currently writing more chapters. So as we're doing this, I literally and make it this is my third one, and I have memorized how to do the base already. So I'll be able to keep changing the stitches in the middle, and I'll have like one basic tote where I can change it up and have a unique looking bag every time. So I'm very excited about that. And she's going to be releasing more of those chapters as she gets more of them written. So she's always thinking about stitches and all of that. So it's a very, very cool pattern that I am really enjoying. And that's why we're on live talking about it. So after I join here with the slip stitch, we have completed the second row of the mesh part. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to get ourselves to the very center of this chain space that we made so that we can start round 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do slip stitches along the chain in order to move myself up and get myself into position. So let me zoom back in here so y'all can see the stitches. And we're going to go, this is where I just joined with a slip stitch. I'm going to go into the next and I'm just going to do a slip stitch. So I just kind of put my hook in through there, pull up a loop, and now I'm going to pull this loop under this one with a slip stitch. So it's going to sit very flat in there, and it's just going to be a way that we can move ourselves into position. Again, into the next stitch, slip stitch. Now, guys, if you have a better way or a different way that you like doing this, by all means, do your thing, friends. Do your thing. Now, in the very top right here, I'm going to put my single crochet. Okay, so now I have moved from the valley where we had our 2 chains up to the very tippy top. And now I'm ready to start more of the mesh. So the way that we do the mesh, after you do your single crochet in the top, you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then into the mountaintop right here, again, single crochet. So we're just going to keep stacking these chains on top of each other until we do it 16 rows. So once again, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then into the top, single crochet. Allie, have a great day at school. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. I appreciate you being here. Lisa, thank you so much for sharing the live. I hope everybody had a fabulous weekend. I'll tell you, the weather is beautiful here right now. We have a nice sunny day. It's supposed to be really nice through the weekend. I got out this weekend. If you see, I have kind of some marks on me. You can see I'm a little bruised and banged up. I got one on my hand right here. I was working on my bird houses this weekend, getting them ready for nesting season. We have a lot of nesting pairs already. And so I was pounding in T-post. My husband helped me. And I still have 2 more T-posts to pound in. And I have a few more birdhouses I need to get deployed. Every year I try to add a few more. But if you are a bird watcher, I do live stream one of the bird cameras over on my YT. So right now we have the tree swallow camera going. If the bluebirds come back to the one nest box they built their nest in last year, I'll be able to live stream that one again. But so far, we haven't had anybody start building a nest. Mello said, I just set up my first birdhouse. It has a camera inside. Nice, Mello. Did you use Blink for your camera or did you use something else? I have a lot of birdhouses that have, I should clarify, I have a lot of birdhouses that are within the Wi Fi range of the house that have cameras in them. They are Blink outdoor cameras. The problem is with a Blink camera, you can't live stream it. There's no way to get it to your OBS studio. It doesn't transmit a code like some of the other cameras do. And so the one that I have the camera in, it has to be hardwired in. It's not a battery. One, two, three, four, five, a battery camera. So there is kind of tricky if you're going to live stream. So I have, I think, maybe 6 of my bird boxes actually have um, Blink cameras in them. Blink is like the home security cameras. That's what I put in my birdhouses. Um, very new to this. I don't know what camera it is. I need to research more. Blink, if your Nest box is within range of your Wi-Fi, you can use a Blink outdoor camera, and those you can actually attach a solar panel to. That's what I have on mine. And then I can see the bird activity on my phone, but I can't live stream it. So, I have one camera that I live stream inside the birdhouse, but it's a whole different like setup. Hey, Crochet Gal, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Um, Hud, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Della, good morning. Welcome in. This is said beautiful bag. Isn't it pretty? I love how this mesh is working out. This bag, if you're just joining on, guys, this is called the Choose Your Own Adventure Tote, and we're getting a little meshy this morning. So I'm just working on the mesh stitch. We do a single crochet in the top. Excuse me. Then I chain, there's number 5, chain 5, and then I go to the next little mesh here and single crochet in the top of that chain, and then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then in the top again single crochet. So that is what I'm doing. Mello, if you ever need help with your bird cameras and stuff, you could always message me. I'd be happy to help. I've had bird houses with cameras in them for this is our 5th year. So I of course I'm not an expert, but I have learned quite a bit along the way. So feel free to message me if you want. You can also find bird videos and stuff if you go back on the Wheeler olden days before I started doing a lot of crochet. You can find those on my TikTok also, and a lot on my Book of Faces. I have a lot of bird and wildlife videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got one too many. We just need 5 chains. So after you do your 5 chains, we're going to go into the top of the next chain here, and again single crochet. So you can see how this works up very quickly. So most likely I'm not going to have enough time to finish all this mesh today, guys, but the good crochet fairy is going to come along tonight and finish the mesh. And what we're going to do then tomorrow is we're going to start with the handles of the bag. So we're going to start working along the top here and work on the handles for tomorrow's live. Okay, so that is the plan. And then hopefully we'll get this bag kind of wrapped up with the purple. But this is a really, really fun pattern. So Miss Leah will pin where you can find the pattern. This is called the Choose Your Own Adventure Tote Bag. And I am using a H8, a 5 millimeter crochet hook. We are using 100% cotton, very important for your tote bags. I recommend cotton. This yarn that I'm using today, this variegated, is from Hirschner's, and Leah will pin the yarns. The purple color that we used for the base, this is in the colorway plum. So they're actually 2 different brands, but I thought that the purple of this matched perfectly. So 100% cotton is definitely what you want to go with. This is considered a 4-weight cotton. So I've made it with a 3-weight. but 4 weight is preferred for this bag. If you do 3 weight, you kind of have to size down your hook, and then it becomes a much smaller bag. So, excuse me, my allergies, guys. I need to take my allergy pill this morning. But a 4 weight, so there's a lot of possibilities out there. Peaches and cream, lily sugar and cream, hoblob. I love this cotton. There's a number of different options that you can choose for your cotton. So I like to do it where it has a solid color and then the mesh part is variegated. Obviously, you don't have to do it like that, right? You could do the variegated for the bottom and then do a solid. You could do all solid colors. You could do purple and then switch to a medium purple and then do the top with a light purple. I mean, the possibilities are absolutely endless with this pattern. One, two, three, four, five. Oops, I got another one in there. So chain 5 and then into the next chain right here in the top, we're going to do our single crochet and we're just working that all the way around. 3, 4, 5 chains, skip to the next mesh, and again, single crochet. I'm single crocheting around the chain. So if you, I don't try to like work into that stitch at the top. It actually makes it a little more sturdy if you work around that chain. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what I do is I put my hook underneath that chain and then pull up my loop for my single crochet. This is a very easy pattern. So even if you are a beginner, I think you could probably do this pattern. It's not super complicated. The way that she wrote it is pretty easy. So definitely check it out. This pattern was released last week. A lot of our friends are making it because it's just a lot of fun to do. And I like working with the mesh. It just kind of, it's one of those like plug in a movie and or listen to an audiobook and just kind of sit here and do my chains and stuff. TBJ, thank you so much for sharing the live. Brandy and Della, welcome in, friends. Thank you so much for the follows. Friends, if you are new to the channel, my name is April. And I am a hobby crocheter. I come live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7:30 Central. I do work full time, so I typically stay on for at least an hour, sometimes 2 hours, depending on the project that we are doing. And we do a lot of stitch talk here. We do a lot of chatting as well, but we do a lot of stitch talk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where I explain how to do stitches and make different projects. And every day we kind of work on something new. Now, this week, we're going to have a few more days. We have today and tomorrow of working on the tote bag. We started this last Thursday. So we're kind of writing a tutorial as we go along because we are live both on TikTok and over on YT, just like we are this morning. So you can go back and rewatch how we made the base of the bag. So we started this last Thursday. So here we are. We're back to the beginning where we started. So I did my single crochet in the tip of this chain. Now, this is where we started right here in the middle. And one thing that you might want to do if you are new to crochet is put a little stitch marker in here so that you can recognize when you're back to the beginning, because sometimes it gets a little confusing. So after I do my second to last single crochet, then I chain 5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch to this very first single crochet that we did. So we're just going to put our hook through that stitch, pull up a loop. Now I'm going to draw this loop under this one and do a slip stitch. Okay. So you can count your rows now. We have 1, 2, and 3. We've done 3. We need to do a total of 16 of these rows. Now, the other thing, friends, let me pull this out a little bit. Don't be afraid as you're working on your chains to kind of give them a little tug as you're working on it. We call this finger blocking. Okay. So this project doesn't need to be blocked or anything, but you can pull on these chains and kind of get them locked into place and really get those stitches to kind of set where you need them to. And then we're going to start working on round 4. So all of these rounds are worked the same way. So as we're doing this, what I need to do is get myself set into position. As we are doing it, you'll remember we are working our single crochet in the top of these chains, right? We did a single crochet, then we did chain 5, and we looped over to the next one. As I come out of this first stitch right here, we connected where we had our first single crochet. So what I need to do is I need to move myself from where we are down here to the tippy top of this chain. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do some additional slip stitches along this chain to get myself into position. So this is our next stitch right here. I'm just going to put my hook through that stitch and pull up a loop. So we have two loops on our hook. And then I'm going to drag this loop underneath this one, which will cause that to sit very flat to my work. Then I'm going to go to the next stitch and repeat that slip stitch. So again, pull up my loop. Now we have two loops. Again, pull through. Now, guys, as you're doing your slip stitches, you want to make sure that those are kind of nice and loose. You don't want them to be too tight to pull down on your chain. So make sure you're giving yourself plenty of room there to work that stitch. Now I'm going to do my single crochet in the very top of this chain. So I'm going to go under the chain, pull up my loop. So we have two loops and then yarn over and pull through both. So effectively what we have done is we've moved ourselves from right here at the bottom all the way here to the top. And now we're ready to start that fourth row. And you can kind of see where I have done those slip stitches, right? Do you see how that stitch is a little bit fatter? But that's okay. It really is hidden in the mesh of this bag. You're not going to notice it, especially when you're using it. And most people wouldn't even know that it's there. Okay. So now we're going to start the next row of chains and we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to skip to our next chain space and I'm going to go underneath that chain and then pull up my loop. So we have two and then yarn over and pull through both. So we're making a single crochet. Instead of working in the top of that chain, we're going around. When you go around the chain, it makes it a bit stronger for your crocheting because you're going under all of those loops. And then again, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then into the next top of the chain right here, again, single crochet. And we're going to keep repeating that all the way around. Now, one thing that I do like to do, especially for beginners, is this is the first chain that we made. So what you can do is put your little stitch marker right here. That way, when you come back around, you'll know that that is the beginning of where you started. So we've had quite a number of new friends hop on this morning. Let's just rewind a little bit and talk about the project that I'm doing. So we started this last Thursday and we worked on the base of the bag. This pattern is called the Choose Your Own Adventure Tote. And it was written by our fabulous moderator, Lea Pin Llamas, Miss Leah's pattern. It came out last week. So the reason it's called the Choose Your Own Adventure Tote is because you have three different options right now of how to do this pattern. So we are working on the mesh option, and that's what we're doing with this variegated yarn is we're making the middle of the tote. So here is an actual completed tote that you can see. So we did the base. This is what the dark purple was, the plum color. Then we're doing the variegated. We're going to do 16 rows of this mesh. And then the top of the bag also remains the same. So we're going to have single crochets. We're going to work on the top of the bag tomorrow and the handles. Okay. So we're going to do both of those on the live tomorrow if you want to come back for part 3. The reason it's called the Choose Your Own Adventure tote bag is because there's different variations you can choose from. So if you remember back to when you were a kid and you used to read those Choose Your Own Adventures books and it says, turn to page 56 if you want to float your boat down the river. Turn to page 35 if you want to take a hot air balloon up into the sky, right? And you would flip to that page and you'd read that part of the adventure and then it would tell you to go somewhere else, you know. Now you're going to go jump on a trampoline or you're going to, rappel down a cliff. I don't know, all the things, right? So Leah has incorporated that into her bag. This part stays the same, the base, the handles and the top stay the same. What is changing is this middle part. So right now with the pattern that she released, you can choose the mesh option that we're doing. There's also a V-stitch option and there is a granny stitch option. So there are 3 different patterns right now within this one pattern that you can choose which way you want to go. Are you going to do the hot air balloon or are you going to go floating down the river? Whatever you're in the mood for. And the other thing that is very cool is Leah is actively writing more adventures for more chapters for us to come with the middle stitches. So after you get the base, I'm on my third one. I already have it memorized how to do the base and the handles. So now all I'm going to have to do is as she releases, different stitches for the middle, I'll be able to work on those adventures, and I'm very excited. And she's constantly coming up with new ideas and exciting things. So if you are, yes, where's the lie on the couch option, JT, right? Lie on the couch and not do anything, put your feet up. Yeah, that option. Yeah, I like that one too. There's some days, right? So this is the mesh option. It's been a little meshy in here this morning. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to do 5 chains. Then we're going to hop over here to the next chain and we're going to put a single crochet around that chain. So I bring my hook down, I slide underneath the chain under all of that, and then pull up a loop, and then again single crochet in the top. When you go around the chain, it makes that stitch very strong. So then once again we're going to do a chain of 5, 3, 4, and 5, skip to the next stitch, again single crochet around that chain, and we're just repeating that over and over again till we end up with a total of 16 of these rows. So we're on 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth row. Hook and heart. Leah will share where you can get that pattern. Yes, am I Maggie? I mean, Maggie is my scissor sister, right? We all love us some Maggie. So I hope Maggie's feeling better. I really missed her lives this weekend, but I know she was under the weather. So we have next weekend to look forward to, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 chains, single crochet in the top, and we're just going to keep working this around. So we're on round 4. We have a lot more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But this is pattern I'm working on is an FREE pattern, and it was released last week. It's already had a ton of downloads. A lot of our friends are working on this bag because it's really a fun bag. And I don't know about you all, but this is the time of year that I think about making tote bags. This is the time of year the produce starts coming in at the Mennonite market. And it's nice to have a little tote and not have to, have a little reusable situation happening. Or, maybe you've got some beach time scheduled for later this summer. And wouldn't it be fun to make some bags to take to your friends that are going with you on the trip or family? Make one for your sister. Also, Mother's Day is coming up for those of us in the US. When's Mother's Day? In May? So you still have we're only into March here. So you have plenty of time if you need to make a little Mother's Day bag for maybe your mom or aunt or grandma or for your sister, whatever. That's a nice little um, GIFT that you can do. I think it works up great for that. Everybody loves a tote bag. It's nice to have some of these just around if you have a birthday that comes up and you need a quick gift or a teacher appreciation gift, one of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're really kind of handy to have around. So whenever I get bored with my blankets and I need a little break, I will work on totes. And honestly, whenever I get in a little crochet rut, when I lose my crojo and I can't really think about like, oh, what am I going to work on? I will implement in and make some totes. So you guys have seen me make quite a few totes the past few weeks because I've kind of burned myself out on making baby blankets and stuff. So taking a little break. But I do have another baby blanket. I have 2 baby blankets in the works. As you all know, my niece had her baby a couple weeks ago, and I owe her a baby blanket. So I do have one of those. We're going to probably work on that one on Thursday. But I finished, if you guys want to see, I finished the blue border on this little guy. So I'm ready to start the ruffle on it. This pattern is it's a combination of patterns that I do, but I'm going to put a little baby deer applique on this. but we worked on this border on the live. Was it last week? Maybe we worked on this. I don't know. I've lost all track of time, but I finished the little what do you call that? The little front post, back post, cabling. I finished the cabling. That's the word for it. It has cabling on the back as well. So it's kind of two-sided cabling. And did you finish a blanket for your husband's friend? No, not yet. I'm still working on that one, Paloma. That's the other one that I'm doing. So I think we're going to work on this one on Thursday, probably. It's really coming up nice. So for Thursday, what I need to do is I'm going to put a scallop border on this. So we're going to add a ruffle around it for a border. That's what I did on the dinosaur blanket. So the dinosaur blanket and this one are going to the same family, and she wanted them kind of to match. The other baby blanket that I'm working on is for my husband's friend. I started out doing the um, Harlequin stitch, and I got kind of burnt out on the Harlequin stitch. So I switched, and now I'm doing this blanket. I started this Sunday because now that I've changed, I'm behind. But this one is another. This is the very center of the baby blanket. This one is going to get the same edging as the blue blanket. But this stitch right here that I'm doing, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to see with the white. But this one is 4 double crochets. You do 3 double crochets, and then you do one that is crisscrossed to give it that edge. This is a 2-row repeat of this. And so you have a row of single crochets and then a row of those 4 stitches. Let me see if I can. It's kind of hard to see with it being white, but can you guys see the texture on it? It's really kind of a fun stitch. You can see how you have those crossovers, and then you have the cross on the other side too. So I'm actually encasing those 3 double crochets into that stitch. So we'll probably do this one next week, I would imagine, because I'm trying to get these baby blankets done. This baby blanket right here, this pattern is called, it's by Craft and Crochet. It is pattern 2208, and you can find it on YT is where I found it. Craft and Crochet has a fabulous channel. I've talked about her a number of times. It's Craft, and then AND is spelled out, and it is pattern 2208, 2208, 2208. So that's what I like to do for the baby blankets. I like to do kind of a solid center when I'm gifting them to family, and then I'll put a real fancy border on it. And then sometimes I do a little applique if I'm feeling up to it. Sometimes I don't do an applique. It's not an every time thing that I do that. But yes, I have those baby blankets I'm trying to get finished. I also worked on Arlene's blanket quite a bit on Saturday. So I have another blanket I'm doing. That one is the Study of Snow in grays and like beiges, and it's really pretty. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm working on those kind of 3 projects right now on the side. And last week I made a bunch of hats as well to kind of meet our goal. I'm trying to do 10 hats a month, and I don't know if I have done 10 for March. I need to get a count and see where I'm at. So I need to do that. I've also finished a bunch of tote bags. So I've been trying to post some videos on TikTok and over on YT, some shorts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of some of the projects that I've been finishing up. So probably when I get off the live today, I'm going to try to go photograph another tote bag and maybe see if I can get another one posted up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's hard when I'm talking because I lose count of where I'm at with these stitches. So that's kind of what I've got going right now. What is everybody else working on? I'm so curious what y'all have on your hooks. Um, I know Miss Leah is working actively on making more adventures for this pattern. I know she was working on that last night and again this morning. And so I'm very excited to see all of those that she comes up with. Um, is anybody else making the Choose Your Own Adventure tote bag? What colors are you doing it? Randa said, I'm working on a rainbow market or a rainbow ripple blanket. Nice. Nanny's is working on a market bag. Jay Higley is working on a bobble stitch handbag. Nice. Oh, JT is working on the kaleidoscope granny square. Nice. We're going to make that kaleidoscope granny square on the live. I think that's going to be next week. We're going to make one of those. It's a really fun. I made one this weekend. Charles working on a lap blanket for Warm Up America. Nice, Charles. I make those for Warm Up America too. I send my wheelchair size to Sabre Healthcare is where I do mine as part of Warm Up America. So that's really fun. Pam is working on a tote bag with the granny stitch. Mello's working on a basket weave tote bag and then starting this one. Nice, Mello. I love that. Leah's going to love that too. Let's see, just finished a border of a rectangle virus blanket. Oh, nice, Heather. Virus blanket is really pretty. I've made a few of those. I don't know if I actually finished. I think I have two of those in the works that I didn't finish. They're in the work in progress. Blanket stitch baby blanket. Nice, Angie. Paloma just finished the sedge and rosebud edge baby blanket. Starting this bag now. Awesome. Marla's working on a market bag. Rye said I'm working on shorts. Lulu's making my auntie a wrap. Oh, that is awesome. Luna's putting a ruffle border on a large granny square blanket. Nice. I'm back to the beginning right here, guys. And now I'm going to miss a bunch of comments. I've got to join this here. So I'm going to pop out my stitch marker. I did a single crochet here, and then I did a chain of 5. So now we're going to join back to our first stitch that we did. So right here is where we did that single crochet. I'm going to join with, I lied. I'm going to join right here with a slip stitch. I lost my place there for a moment. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch to that very first single crochet that we did and bring our round 4 together. Then we're going to get ready to start round 5. Let's see. I missed, Hannah said, thinking about buying a yummy gummy purse. Oh, I don't know what that is. April's working on a mosaic. Beautiful. This multi-purple yarn, Leah will share where you can get the yarn at. Kelly's been working on a hat. Luna said bright blue, dusty blue, and white. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Ruthie, thank you so much for becoming a 159th member of the fan club. I'll post pictures on the Discord after taking pictures. It's a cloudy day here, so maybe tomorrow. Awesome. Let's see. MJ said, I'm obsessed with a new pattern from Premiere, Blooming Flower Blanket. Have 2 in progress. Oh, I'm going to have to check that out. MJ, you know, I love me some Premiere, not only their yarns, but all things Premiere related. Tara's working on pot holders. Awesome. So many good projects out there, huh? Okay, so I joined with a slip stitch right here to our very first stitch. Now, as you remember, when I worked on these chains, I had to work at the very tippy top right here, and we did a single crochet. Then we're chaining 5 and looping over to our next chain space with a single crochet. So what I need to do right now, we are down in the very valley of where we started this stitch. So I need to move myself up to get to the very top of this chain. So I'm going to go into the next stitch right here. I just kind of put my hook through, kind of wiggle it, pull up a loop. So we have 2 loops. Then I'm going to pull this loop underneath this one. I'm going to do a slip stitch. Okay, so that slip stitch will sit very flat to that chain and it won't be super obvious. Then I'm going to go into the next stitch and repeat that with another slip stitch. So what we're doing is we're moving from here up to the very tippy top. So after I do those slip stitches, now I'm going to do a single crochet around that center chain. Okay, so effectively what we've done is we've moved from here up to here. Now, if you find that that single crochet is still a little off kilter there, you can actually do another slip stitch if you want into this very tippy top stitch. Sometimes I will do that as well and then do your single crochet. So that actually works a little better to position that single crochet right in the very center of that chain. So that is how I get from one row here all the way up is by doing those little slip stitches. Then I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then right into the next top of this chain here, we're going to do a single crochet. Okay, so we're basically hopping from one to the other. Now, this is where I first started. So I'm going to put my stitch marker back in here. That way, when I come back around, it's going to be very obvious where I started, especially if you're a beginner, because sometimes these stitches run together, especially when you're doing the mesh like this. Okay, so you can kind of see right here where I've been moving my yarn up. However, once you get your entire bag made, it kind of blends in and you won't see those added slip stitches. So if we look right here on this bag, it's hard to find it. I have to really look, but I can find where I did it. It's right here. Right here on the side, you can see right here where I did the slip stitch. See how there's some additional rows on there? That is where I did the slip stitches. So it becomes not so obvious once you have your entire bag finished. Friends, if you're just coming on, we are working on the Choose Your Own Adventure tote bag this morning. And this is a FREE pattern by none other than our fabulous Lea Pin Llamas, one of our moderators here in the chat. She released this pattern last week. The reason it's the Choose Your Own Adventure tote is the bottom of the bag stays the same. The top here, where we have our single crochets, and the handles remain the same. The part that changes is the part that's here in the middle. This example is the mesh. She also has written it with a V stitch if you like that stitch. And she also has written a granny stitch if you want a more solid tote bag. So within one pattern, you have three different options. And so I even have this base memorized. This is my third bag to make. And so it's really kind of a fun pattern. Hey Teresa, good morning. Welcome in. Nice to have you here this morning. Tara, good morning. Thank you so much for the follow. Friends, if you are new to the channel, my name is April and I am a hobby crocheter. We go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7:30 Central. And we usually stay on for 1 to 2 hours, depending on what I've got on my hook. We do quite a bit of stitch talk. Now, also, if you're new to the channel, we are live this morning, both on TikTok and over on YT. So we have people watching in both places. If you need to hop off the live and you want to come back and revisit, you can always rewatch the live replays over on YT. After we're done live, they get posted out so you can see those at any time. If you got to get the kiddos off to school, get yourself to work, get a shower, get breakfast, whatever it is that calls you away, you can always go back and rewatch those. So when you're over on YT, there's three different categories. There is one that says shorts, there's one that says videos, and there's one that says live. The live is where you're looking for because whenever we're live on TikTok, we are live over on YT. I can't say the full thing. I get a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They make me abbreviate. Nannies, thank you so much for the rose. Rachel, thank you so much for all of the roses. I have to tell you, friend, I have been missing you immensely. So I'm so glad that you are here this morning. I know you are busy in your life, but it really has been special to have you back. And I can't say enough good things about that. So it warms my heart. I hope the main mod is doing well, and the tiny human is as well. So I appreciate you being here, friend, as I know all of our friends have been missing you. So I hope things are well in your world. Maya, thank you so much for the hand hearts. I appreciate it. Nannies, thank you so much for the rose. You all are amazing. What would I do without y'all? Keeping me company in the morning before I've got to go to work, right? What would I ever do? So anyhow, guys, we will be back tomorrow, Wednesday morning at 7:30 Central Time. And I'm going to finish this mesh up probably on my lunch break and after work. So as I like to say, the good crochet fairy is going to come along and work on this bag after I'm off the live and get all of the mesh finished. So We've done a lot of talk about the mesh this morning. I do have a busy day at work today ahead of me, so I'm probably going to hop off. But hopefully, you've gotten an idea of how to make these mesh stitches, how to work all the way up when you're joining on for your next row. And when we come back tomorrow, we'll have all this mesh finished, and then we'll be ready to start the very tippy top of our bag. So, if no one is opposed, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day and get the rest of my day started. Also, I am a little hungry this morning, so I think some breakfast is in order. Um, I do have to tell you all, Mr. Diesel, he has been sleeping this morning. He is over there in his bed and he has got his tongue wagging. I don't know what dream he is having, but I think I need to give that boy some food because he's going to town over there. So anyhow, I really appreciate each and every one of you and all of your support that you give all of the time, all of me all the time. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Check out Miss Lea Pin Llama's pattern if you have not already. It's a great pattern. Even if you're not ready to make a tote bag right now, check it out. I can't say enough good things about this pattern, y'all. It is really, really nice pattern to have in your little crochet archive, arsenal, whatever you want to call it. It's a fun, fun pattern. Luna, we've enjoyed hanging out as well. Kay, have a great day. Kelly, thank you for being here. Nanny, thank you so much for the Go Popular. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all so much for all of the gifts, likes, shares, taps. A special shout out to all of our subscribers and what do you call them? All you special people that get the stickers, you know. I can't think of what super fans. There you go, super fans. Good Lord. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great day, you guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.